Is it possible that Honami City is trapped inside void space? Okay, I don't even have a script for this, just a few topics that I want to talk about, and by the end of this I hope it makes a little bit of sense. In 2.8 we had a time loop story, and just less than 2 patches later we are already mentioning time loops again with 3.1. Is it possible that we already did something in the past that will be actually just shown in the future that we don't know about? First of all, the explanation for void space that we have so far is that a place that time doesn't work normally. Basically, something that has fallen into void space in the past can meet something that will fall into void space in the future. We literally saw this in 3.1 when the current rover saved past Aemeath from falling deeper into void space. And we also have a tiny bit of evidence that points to the fact that 2.8 might be more important to the story of Wuthering Waves going forward than we initially thought. More specifically, the ending portion of 2.8 has a lot of tiny connections with 3.1, and those connections are not that subtle. First of all, now that we know that void space is literally a bubble of wibbly-wobbly timey-wimey bullshit, it's very weird that we first were introduced to the timey-wimey shit back in 2.8. So while it is impossible for Honami to be trapped inside a void space because of void matter, if we consider that Honami is trapped inside a Sonoro and that Sonoro sphere is actually trapped inside void space, it starts to make a little bit more sense, because the Sonoro sphere would be protecting what is inside from the void matter outside. And what is fun about this theory is that items from different time periods keep falling into Honami. We even had an event that we had to go after those items and reconstruct them back into their original form. And even Rover's frequency loss first started when he touched a tape that fell into Honami. Maybe the tape was still contaminated with void matter. Another evidence that I can point to the fact that Honami Sonoro is in fact inside of void space is Aemeath's voice line from 3.1 and beyond playing at the end of 2.8. And I mean and beyond because though we already had heard the line,
"I hope to make you proud. I hope I haven't let you down,"
there is still one part from the end of this quest that we haven't heard in the story yet.
"The universe has rejected us. Is this the answer you've been seeking?"
Another evidence that I can point out is the very suspicious meteor shower at the end of 2.8. If we just saw the meteor shower and that was it, I wouldn't be that suspicious, but for starters, the meteor shower is too similar to visuals we saw in 3.0 and 3.1, all of those moments related back to Aemeath. And to add to this, we just have a memory loss right after that. It has to mean something. When the story you don't know, that achievement appears to you right after you wake up. Heed my words, we will return to Honami someday, and Honami will be heavily connected into how we will cross this Strider Gate in the future. And that will be the story we don't know. But here's the smoking gun, the false sovereign.
Go home. Possession. Too right. Can't suppress. Forget. No. Too heavy. This region has become an eternal shackle. Let me go home. Go home. Go home. Why refuse? Tears. So long.
Can you find a difference between those two images? They are the same image. Here's how I believe the timeline works. Rover loses his frequency to void space. That frequency wanders about until it finds its way into Honami. Inside Honami, that frequency becomes the false sovereign. Rover and Chisa defeat the false sovereign, leading to the frequency to leave Honami and wander again across void space. Eventually, Aemeath finds the frequency and keeps it for herself, and sometime along the timeline, her fears and void matter corrupt the frequency, causing the birth of Sigillum. This false sovereign is the first iteration of Sigillum. My fixation currently is Wuthering Waves. I can't sleep.